All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of podcast. This nice, and it's your boy Jojo and Isaac once again. We've been away for some time, but we come back with
Yeah,
a
yeah.
special episode with a special guest. You know,
hmm
a Man City fan, a disciple of Pep, here to defend Man City's sins once again. We should just jump right into it. Johan, last time you were on here, we talked about this game. Yeah, we spoke about what this result would be, and you said some interesting things. So you're here to pay for your sins. So before we even get into that, talk to us, man. How do you feel about that game over the weekend? What are your feelings right now?
Uh, I think last time we talked was right after the Tottenham game where they lost 4-0.
Mhm.
And I was talking about how their offense was not the worst because I
Yeah.
felt like they had a lot of chances. They didn't finish, but they had a lot of chances.
Hmm.
I still stand by that. I think by and large, the offense is not the worst. I
Hmm.
still think, no, of course, it's not prime City. Um, but okay, a lot of issues here. The offense is not the worst, but the big thing is the defense, right? The big issue is still the
Right.
defense. We've seen Pep try Darwin, like he not Darwin, Matheus Nunes left back, and man, it was sad to watch. It was sad to watch. Like last time it was Gundo getting cooked. This time it's Nunes getting cooked. Ahmad absolutely traumatized this guy the whole game, and it was sad. But again, it's
Hmm.
just again, players being played out of position. Again, he's not a left back. He's trying his better as left back. It reminded me of the Cancelo days, where Cancelo was playing at that left back. Cancelo was not the best defensively, and he always had someone needed someone to cover for it. It was the same thing here. Vardiol had to cover for Nunes like the whole game.
Hmm.
And the penalty was so stupid. Again, this is like the second time I see Nunes do this. He did it against Sporting as well. Like lose the ball very carelessly, and then when you go to recover, just give away a very stupid penalty. So honestly, there's not much for me to say, man. It was shit. The defense was shit. It
That's
was
what we need to hear,
underwhelming.
bro.
Yeah,
And
we
I
like
agree
the
with like
confession.
I think it's a mentality. I think it's becoming a mentality issue as well because that penalty doesn't make sense, bro. It's like 88 minutes in the game. You're 1-0 up. By the time he came back, Ederson was already there. Like,
Mhm.
just calm down and just give away the penalty, and then like everything afterwards. KDB is the only person who looks like he's giving it a shot, and I don't blame Haaland because he doesn't get much support anyways. He doesn't get much like ball. So
Ah,
But is
bro,
that kind of
bro, bro,
scary
bro.
though? So, Johan, you've said a lot of things. I feel like Isaac, you want to interject, but Johan, I noticed you didn't say anything about United's game. So you're sounding like City lost, but United didn't win. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I don't think it was a United win. At least I watched the game. United played well. Don't get me wrong, they played well.
Oh.
Like was it the left flank? Like Mazraoui and Ahmad, they absolutely cooked Doku and Nunes. It was just sad to watch. Like Doku couldn't get past Mazraoui, and Mazraoui dribbled past him. Actually, it's like instead of dribbling your left back,
Mhm.
the left back is the one dribbling you. It was just sad to watch, honestly. But
I,
overall, I don't think it was a United win. I think it was the City loss because City had a game on lockdown
okay.
almost. United
Those
was
are
Hey,
not
bold
that.
words. Those are bold words. Because,
nah, nah,
okay,
nah, nah,
Isaac,
nah, nah,
Isaac, I know
bro.
you want to interject real quick, yeah? But let me just say this real quick. Johan, everything you've said has been City's last 10 games, though, where they dominate in some areas, may have more shots, may have more possession, may have more everything, and they still lose. How is this any different? Matter of fact, we had more possession of the ball. We were more offensively on the ball. Like, we didn't play great football, but how is this any different from City's past 10 bad
which
results?
is which is which is why I would say that most of the games City has lost, it's not been I wouldn't say the opposition won them as much as they lost. Like except for the Liverpool game, for example, I could say okay, Liverpool won because Liverpool really they were more threatening on the night. Let's be honest. Tottenham were maybe more threatening on the night, but look at the game with Sporting. I won't say it's like because you can tell it's not Sporting winning because Sporting goes on to get trashed by Arsenal. United goes on to lose to all other teams. Like it's not really this team beating City as much as it's just City not being able to do anything with the ball. And the moment they get countered, even once, it's just horrible. And the mentality collapses in the end. Like, look at the game with Brighton. I won't say Brighton won them. City had the
Mhm.
win. It was not supposed to end the way it ended. And they
Mhm.
just fumbled back. Same with Crystal Palace. Like, they just, I won't say all these teams won City as much as I would say City just keeps giving away 3 points. So I don't think it was a United win. I think it
Okay.
was more like City.
3 points, 10 games in a row, though? That's crazy. Isaac, what do you think?
I
Bro,
don't even know what to
I
say.
don't honestly, I don't know what games Johan has been watching. I don't know where Johan is coming from. It's like my guy has been living in Mars or something. Like I don't know what he's talking
Real
about,
man.
Jojo. Like first of all, let's get it out there. Dominating a football game, like getting 60% of possession doesn't mean you dominated a football game. Mourinho said this
Yeah.
famously that we could have 20% of the ball, but we still control the game. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the fact that every other game you've had 60% of the ball doesn't mean you were winning, right? For example, Everton. Everton against Arsenal. I mean, all Arsenal fans are going to be like, oh, Arsenal dominated the guy. At the end of the day, they walked home with a point. That was their strategy from the beginning of the game. So teams are walking up to City. I mean, since when has any other football club had more possession than City in a football game? It has never happened. That never
That doesn't.
happened.
It's like
We almost
Barcelona.
had
It doesn't work like that.
exactly what I'm saying. Barca could lose 4-0 and still have 70% of the ball. You get what I'm saying? You lose 4-0 and tell me you were the one dominating the game. What the hell does that even mean, bro? Everyone
No,
has a
I'm not talking of
strategy.
possession here, though. I'm not
No, no,
talking
I'm
of
just
just
saying.
possession.
No, I know, but I'm just saying the fact that you have more possession than other teams, maybe you had more shots at goal, doesn't mean you dominated the game. Like, let's make that clear. Against
Yeah,
Spurs, there was only one team on the pitch against Spurs. I'm not gonna lie to you. City had all the ball. They were moving the ball around all over. Spurs were precise. They were efficient, man.
Mhm.
Their attacks, bro, it was dangerous. And he mentioned something about Sporting. Go and look at the stats for the Sporting game again. Look at which team ran more on the day. It was Sporting. They were running all over the pitch, bro, putting pressure. The fact that I
Mhm.
had more of the ball doesn't mean you dominated the game. And I feel like that's where City needs to start from. It's
Mhm.
not just about possession, bro. You can be the team that sits back. You can be the team that takes their time. Actually, I would say against us, I saw that a little bit, and I was like, this is a different city. Because Jojo, you already made the point. We actually had a good amount of possession, which was a bit
We did, yeah.
surprising because usually
Yeah.
City just peppers us like they get like seventy
Mhm.
percent of the ball, whatever. But you could see, especially in the second half, City kind of sat back. They didn't do the usual City where they'll come out all guns blazing, whatever. United actually grew into the game in the second half. City had one shot the whole second half. You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
That should tell you something.
Mhm.
They didn't even try to attack or anything. And I was
They had
like,
two in
okay,
the
wait,
first.
till exactly. I was like, wait, till that's I like it because I'm like, at least that's something different. At least there's a recognition here of where we are. We are low on confidence. We can't just keep going to run, especially with a midfield of Gundogan. Kevin De Bruyne, I think, was just gas. He was tired. The whole day, Johan was saying he was trying. He had one of the worst games I've seen, bro. None of his set piece balls were on point. Nothing. Even the goal, it was a deflection, bro. Like it wasn't a good day. Let's just face it. It was a
It
bad day
wasn't a
for
good
Manchester
day.
City,
It wasn't a
right?
good day.
Foden, man. I saw Foden
Miss
with a
you a lot.
couple of tricks here and there missing. As for Doku, we've already said it. Mazari had him in the pocket. But even on the right hand side, who was there?
Yeah.
Who was on the other side? Was that Bernardo Silva? Missing, bro.
Ronaldo,
I don't remember
honestly,
anything he did.
And even through the middle,
Nothing,
bro.
bro.
You know, Maguire had Haaland in that.
Nothing. No, seriously. So I
Can't
will
believe
I
I'm
will
even saying
agree
that,
that
bro.
it was more I will agree that it was more a City loss than a United win. But I will
Mhm.
also give United credit because at the end of the day, you have to beat what is in front of you. How many times have we gone up to teams that we are supposed to beat and still lose? You get what I'm saying? I mean, at the end
Mhm.
of the day, we made it tight. We made it hard for City to play against us. This wasn't like granted, it wasn't like old City where they just dominate us or whatever. But we made it hard for them to play. And then we recognize, you see, that's also the thing. You have to make a recognition that your opponent today is not on it. And you have to take that. And second half we did. We took the game to them. Bruno has some
yeah,
chances, bro. Bruno should have
yeah.
finished. Like that game should have been killed before the we should have even had a penalty. You know what I'm saying? Why is my light going off? But anyway, you see what I'm saying? Like so honestly, me, I was happy. I
I
was
don't
happy with
disagree. I
yeah,
don't
man.
disagree. As a United fan, there's nothing to be mad about. Like they, like I, s- it was a City win, but not by. It's not like a crazy City win. It's not like City had 20 chances and they didn't finish. No,
You
it was
mean
a pretty, it's
United,
a
man?
pretty good
You mean
game.
United,
United?
United.
Hmm?
You mean it was a United win?
No, it was a City. I think it was City's game to
Giving
lose.
painful.
Basically, it was City's game to lose. But I'm
Mhm.
not gonna say it wasn't like a crazy margin. That's what I'm trying to say. So at the end
No,
of the
it
day,
But
was a
as
poor
a
game
United
of
fan,
football.
there's nothing to be mad about. It was a good win. Go home, be happy. Ahmad was good. Honestly, I'm gonna get the guy in my FPL, man. Ahmad was good. He was fantastic. And I
Bro,
think
Isaac cooked. Do you have a Man
Ahmad
United
is
deal, right?
proving that Anthony is not needed at this club, bro. Ahmad has been really fantastic. He's been
As a
fantastic on the
fact,
ball. He's been fantastic off the ball.
mhm,
Love the guy.
can we detour a little bit because you brought up a good point about players who are not needed at this club, and I think that's a good segue for us to talk about the Rashford and Garnacho exclusion, and his reasons for that. Johan, I don't know as a non-United fan, what are your thoughts on that? What do you think about him excluding Rashford and Garnacho and his reasons for doing so?
Honestly, I don't follow United that closely. I think
Okay,
Rashford
so
had
yeah, I'll let
a
you know. Yeah, so he said he completely dropped Garnacho and Rashford from the squad. They didn't start, they didn't play
yeah,
nothing, and he said
yeah,
something
I
along the
saw
lines
that. I
of,
saw
yeah,
he released some press conference talking about the
yeah, all
standard
that
of play
jazz,
that he
yeah,
wants.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
like,
personally I would agree to you because I don't Rashford is not the most hardworking guy on the pitch, so I get it. But I think Rashford I think he played well the past couple games, so I was a
yeah,
bit
he scored
surprised. I thought
three
Rashford
goals, I
had
think,
been
in 5
playing well.
games.
Hmm?
I think he scored like 3 goals in 5 games, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah, he
he
scored
was
some goals.
playing.
Yeah.
He was going well into the system, right? I feel like he was integrating well into the new system, but I like this actually. I like this about Amorim, who's like, hey, you've been integrating well, but maybe in training or over the game, it's like you're not running as much as I want you to run. So I don't care. Take the back seat.
I see
I
you.
don't care that you're an academic graduate or whatever. If you don't
Mhm.
play, you're out. I don't hate that, honestly. Like you were talking about it, it's like last time. Just how long is he gonna keep this going? We'll find out. If they had lost to City, it would not have been it
It
would
wouldn't
not have
have
been
been
as
pretty.
nice to send Rashford and
Yeah,
Garnacho.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
So
wouldn't have been pretty.
if you get the results, then sure, do whatever you want. But if they
yeah.
lose a couple games or they have draws here and there, they lost to Forest. If they have those bad games, how long are you gonna keep this going before the pressure is too much and you have to just accept and take whatever you can? So
Mm.
No,
I
I
don't know.
agree. Do you feel the same, Isaac?
Uh, no, living at Rashford, 100%. I mean, I've been saying for the longest time, not because I
Not
think he's a
Arsenal.
bad player, but just because, yeah, I've been saying Arsenal need to go sign Rashford. I just feel like he needs a change of environment. I look at him and I say, talent is there and all that jazz, but he looks like he doesn't want to be around Manchester United right now. That's okay. Like, that doesn't mean he's a terrible player or, his life is over, his career is over, United will die. Bro, we've lost more players than this. We lost Roy Keane, we lost David Beckham, Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, we've lost players and are still here. So I think it's more for Rashford. January, bro, get the hell out of the club. Simple as that. You don't need to stick around. You can feel underappreciated, whatever. Just go. You've been here for like over 8 seasons, bro. And we keep saying potential, potential, potential. It's freaking seasons, bro. We can't keep saying potential after 8 seasons. Now, Ganacho, I understand. I think Ganacho has more to do with him not being to really fit into that whole inside 10 role. Like he's not that kind of player. And this is something I really like when he dropped Rashford and Garnacho. I was like, wait, this tells me he's really not going into City to play counter-attack football. That's not what happened at City. It wasn't counter-attacking football. We actually took the game to them, tried to play from the back. If you see our goals, I mean, Martinez from like the halfway line,
Oh, that
ball
pass
in behind, right?
sublime. That pass
So,
was so
you know
nice.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Look at the chance that Rasmus Højlund set up for Bruno that he should have finished. Like, that's actual, like,
Mhm.
open play type of football. Not like usually what we do, we sit inside Rashford on the counter pace. So I was like, okay, he's setting the standard in the sense that regardless the team we are playing, this is how we're going to play. Even against us now, I told you, Jojo, we had more of the ball possession, right? We had possession. Although
We
we lost
did.
the game, I was like, okay, so he's not coming here to be like, okay, we're going to be this counter attack team that we just sit back and wait, right? Like Ten Hag did in his first year. And that's why Rashford was so good. He's that kind of player. Just put the ball in behind. He's quicker than everyone. He will get there. He will score a goal. You get what I'm saying? So I just feel like for Rashford, I think it's time for him to move on. For Ganacho, I think it's up to him, like the way Ahmad has really shown that, hey, regardless the system, regardless the position, I can play ball. Ganacho just needs to develop into becoming a better football, right? He's a great winger, can run in behind and all of that. But there is more to the game now. We're not going to be that kind of team anymore, as it's showing right now. Even the games we are losing, bro, we're keeping the ball. We're a ball playing team now. So he needs to figure out how to be that kind of player who wants to get on the ball, can be tricky, has better close control. I was saying, imagine Sancho in this system, bro. Hey,
You were
hey,
cooked.
Oh
bro.
yeah.
Sancho is
Oh
on
yeah.
loan though. No, Sancho is on loan if I'm not mistaken, right? So
Yeah, he's just on loan. Things could be
You know,
different. By the time he comes back, maybe he
Yeah.
will join.
yeah, I was
See,
just saying, imagine
Rashford
him
could
in this
leave.
system.
Sancho gets the number 10. You
You
feel
know,
me?
so honestly, I feel like, and again, it's good that he won. But even me, I was saying, even if he lost, although it would have been tougher for him to speak, defend his decision. Even if he lost, I would have still backed him for doing this because I was like, Rashford. I've said long ago, Rashford needs to move on for Rashford more than Manchester United because we're gonna miss that kind of star quality player. But I also want to see Rashford succeed. So yeah, go on, go to PSG, wherever, go succeed, mate. It's okay, we'll be fine. We have Ahmad Diallo.
Okay, let's calm down the hype. Let's calm down the
You
hype.
know
No,
what
no,
I
we're gonna
mean?
calm down. We're
Let's
gonna
calm
calm
down the
down.
hype. Ahmad
We
is
are.
good,
Yeah.
We're gonna
but
calm
let's
down.
let's calm down the hype. No one is.
We're,
He's not the next Messi or something.
Oh,
He's
that's
just
Black
Ahmad.
Messi, bro. That's the Black Messiah, bro. Okay, all jokes aside.
let's
All
let's
jokes
calm
aside.
down the hype.
All
Look,
jokes
he's
aside.
good, but cooking Nunes is not a fit. Nunes is not a left back, and he's not even a defensive player. So like, let's calm down.
Yes, just be
yeah, no,
Nunes
we're
is cooked
calm.
though.
We're calm.
In five
No, but
games,
he
he's cooked
cooked.
every player. He's cooked every player he's played
Cool.
He's
against in
cooked.
five straight
Like it
games.
has
He's
been
been cooking
regardless
everyone.
who he's come up
Exactly. He's
against,
been
whether on the
cooking.
right wing back positioning, inside 10, he's been cooking. And long may it continue. But I do agree with Johan, because Manchester United fans, we are notorious for doing this. Look at Ganacho right now. We gas up the guy like he's the next
Yeah.
CR7. Look at my man now. Like, let's calm it down. I think City are in a really bad place. And Pep
Mhm.
after the game was like, I'm not good enough. He's like, I'm not. So Johan, man,
um,
do you think
Pep,
Pep is not
Pep
good enough?
and
And like, what do you think he needs to do, especially in January too?
So first of all, I think this is becoming more of a mentality issue than he's willing to admit. I think Gundogan mentioned it, Foden mentioned it, and I 100% agree. Those Nunes penalties, Vardy was a lot better on the night. Diaz was better. Walker was more stable. I think the team overall was a bit more stable,
Mhm.
but I feel like the doubts are starting to creep in. It's like when 80 minutes hit, I feel like if you've been punished a lot of times past the 80th minute, at some point, it's some trauma that's starting to appear. It's like
Damn.
when the 80th minute hit, I feel like everyone starts to be panicked. Even I think someone mentioned it like when they scored against when it's won like Nottingham Forest, you could see Pep celebrating every goal like this man was not sure what's gonna happen, bro.
Mhm.
It's like I think some trauma is starting to creep in where like even he took off KDB for cover. You could tell he took off Doku for Grealish. You could tell he was not trying to score anymore. He was just like, let's control the game, let's get our 1-0. We're done here.
Mhm.
So I think there's some mentality issue that's starting to appear. Maybe a small like break or whatever could help. Maybe some talking during training could help. I don't know what happens behind closed doors at the team. Maybe that would help. I'm just hoping that a team that's won so much can get their shit back together. But
Mhm.
in terms of the tactics, I think he'll fix the tactics. Honestly, I don't even know who he might buy in January. Something
Mhm.
tells me that City might not do any purchase in January. And if they do, honestly, it won't be any big name or anything. They'll buy this random 50 million player that you've never heard of,
Yep.
and he's just gonna play a little bit here and there. Honestly, something tells me they won't do too much. Um, and I think the team will just kind of get back into a clear and firm top three position. I don't know if they're gonna win the league, maybe the FA or something smaller cup.
Okay.
But honestly, I think they'll save the season at least where it won't end up being so bad. But
Okay, man. Johan is very
in terms of what
optimistic.
will happen, it's mostly mentality shift, and then Pep is gonna get the tactics right.
It's like
Akanji or
no,
Ake
hold on.
coming back.
Something has to happen, you know, because again,
Honestly,
City fans will say, "I'm so sorry for interrupting you," but City fans will say, "Okay, cool. We lost Rodri. Rodri was the epicenter of our team. Sure, let's go find another Rodri replacement, right? Maybe they'll fix our issues." But now it sounds like there's nothing that can be done to fix the situation. Like somehow we're in this rut. So that means if Rodri came back today, would you guys go back to winning ways? Is what I'm asking.
if
And
if
and, and
Rodri came back today, City would if Rodri came back and he was the
Yeah.
Rodri that we know, and he came back today, I think for sure City would like win more games. They would definitely start winning again. 100%. Most of the issues that we're having, you can
Mm-hmm.
tell is the midfield being so weak. There's no one to slow down counters. There's no one to provide a quick switch of play on to the other wing or to the wingers. So the one-on-ones are very slow to happen because there's no one to give the ball to the wingers quickly. There's no one to dispatch the ball even to Haaland because Rodri like to find Haaland too. There's no one to do any of that. Counters are devastating. Rodri was really good at everything. Now, if you
mm,
ask me, honestly, I don't know what needs to happen, bro. Like every tactic Pep has been trying. I've tried them myself in my
yeah,
head. And I've watched them go to shit, bro. If Stones, Akanji, Ake don't come back, because the defense need to be
Mhm,
Stones pushing up into mid, Diaz, Walker, and Vadiol, and Gundo or Kovacic next to Stones to provide some support. KDB in the center, Foden and Savinho on the
mhm,
wing, Haaland up front. To me, that is the best lineup we can get. But for that to happen, you need Stones to be fit, which is honestly a miracle at this point. But these
No,
players are also just underperforming. So I don't know
all right.
what to do. It's just, I think it's a mentality issue
Okay,
mostly.
Johan, let me chip in with something here, so we can
mhm,
can wrap it up. So I want to go back to the taxes conversation, right? Pep plays. There is one way Pep wants to play all the time.
mhm,
I want to
mhm,
dominate the ball. I want to get behind the ball. The press has to be high and aggressive all the time. The challenge right now is I don't think this is just a Rodri comeback, we are done type situation. Doku is not all of a sudden going to be better. Savinho is not all of a sudden going to score 20 goals this season. That ain't going to happen. Phil Foden is not all of a sudden going to be this creative machine. Yes, maybe there'll be
mhm.
more balance in your midfield and you won't leak as much goals or as much chances. But it's not like you guys are scoring five on the other end.
With
Did Haaland even have a shot in our game? You know what I'm saying? So I feel
zero to
like
90,
what is
Maguire in
happening
the
is,
pocket.
bro, Maguire, bro. But anyway, all I wanted to say was I feel like the way he plays, Pep needs a lot of players who have energy, who are intense, bro. Like they need to be intense. The way
Mhm,
he plays is inevitable that there will always be pressure on his defense when it comes to counterattacks. The reason why we never saw that as much was because they had Kyle Walker, man. My man could run all over the pitch. The recovery
mhm,
pace was incredible. So you didn't see that much before you even get there, my guy. Kyle Walker has stopped you, cut everything out. You get what I'm saying? And so I think it's either Pep does what we know he does most, at most clubs he's been with. Get the money, go get in the best players there, fix the problem. Once he gets the players, I know the problem will be fixed. This won't be an issue at all. You just need
mhm.
better players in those positions. But I think it will be more interesting to see how he's willing to modify the tactic based on the squad. So it's like I feel like there are issues until January that he can go bring in players. I also don't even know. I agree with you. I don't even think they'll do much because of also 115 charges and all of that. I don't know what kind of position they are in, but they have money though. They are the ones who have been saying they've been making 200 million plus in profit for the past 5 years. They are the only club, by the way. So
Mhm.
they have money sitting there. Let us see if they can. I think if they go sign some players, they'll be fine. But if they don't go and sign anything, Pep will have to do something. These tactics needs to be modified, bro. When I saw the
Mhm.
lineup, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, wait, if we actually are confident today and be brave, we can beat the City team, bro. Bro,
And
the
that's going to be my
playing and
exact point because let's be honest, all the players you guys used to play in the years prior were some of the best players in those positions in the Premier League. And the truth is that they're no
exactly.
longer those type of players, bro. You guys are like an average
Nope.
out Brighton right now. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to Brighton, but that's the truth. And with average players, we're going to play average football. And 10 games is enough for us to determine that the football has been average. Over 10 games, you've only gotten 3 points once across multiple leagues, too. So the truth of the matter is, you guys need more players. That's better players. That's the truth. And I think
Yeah, I
this is a sign of what you said, the lack of squad building. You feel what I'm saying? All of a sudden,
yeah,
the squad mediocrity has hit, and it has hit so quick that it's shocking everyone. But it
Yeah.
shouldn't really shock anyone because on paper the players are average, bro. They're gonna play average ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
yeah.
they've,
It's
they've
like
But
when
all
I,
lost
United used
half
to
a
start
yard of
Fellaini.
pace, bro.
Do you remember that time
I,
when we had
I, I
Mourinho?
partially agree to that, but like I said again, even an average team like Brighton doesn't go 10 games with 7 defeats. Like, come on, man. Even Brighton doesn't go 10 games with seven
Yeah,
defeats.
because
I think
because
this has
no, no,
evolved into
no,
there's a squad
no, but
building issue and there's the mentality issue that is
Mhm.
really, really apparent here. Because
no,
even an average team like Brighton doesn't go 10 games, 7 defeats, and you lose a lot of times past the 80th minute. Like,
but you know the
Mhm.
difference though, Johan. Brighton is a team that is willing, depending on the game, to change the tactic. Every other manager in the
Mhm.
Premier League has that sort of thing about them. They will change it. Brighton won't walk up to City and just start playing. Look at you. You highlighted the game they played against you. I think the first half City dominated. They had all the ball, all of that. Brighton second half
Mhm.
were like, we can smell something here, and then they went for it. City wants to play from minute one, all guns blazing, running. Come on, by minute 22, Gundogan can't run again. What do you expect, bro? And that's where I am trying to shift some blame to your manager.
Mhm,
Recognize the ability of your players or lack thereof of your players
mhm.
and make a
No,
system
it's.
around it. You get what I'm
I mean,
saying?
what do you do when you have Lewis? When you have Rico Lewis,
Well,
But
maybe
you see,
don't
the
and
thing
play
is
so
also,
high up the pitch. That's what I'm saying.
no,
Maybe
yes, I
don't play
think
so
against
high up the
Feyenoord, for
pitch.
example, the Feyenoord
Maybe take
game,
your
Lewis
time.
could not keep an offside trap. You have Lewis who cannot keep an offside trap. Okay, Lewis is suspended. You put Nunes. Nunes can't get his leg off of someone for 2 seconds to not cause a penalty. Who do you put next? Where do you make him play next? Like at some point, where do you put them? Vadio has been our left back for like all of last season, I think, and all of this season he was a left back, and he starts just dashing the ball to the opposition. He just decides that today is your lucky day. Free ball for you, free goal for everyone.
Maybe
What do
tell
you
them
do?
when we are 2-0 up, kick the ball
Mhm,
long. Stop trying to play out from the back. Maybe tell them to do that. That's what I'm saying, Johan.
that's true. And
Maybe,
also
maybe.
to add to that,
You might not be wrong. Maybe.
no, but you guys don't have the worst players on the field, though. That's the thing. You guys have
You
a
don't.
squad that, when managed well, can win you games. Because your squad is
That's what I'm
definitely better than
saying.
Brighton's squad. It's definitely better than Bournemouth's squad. Definitely better than, one would argue better than Arsenal's squad. You feel what I'm saying? Some might
Honestly,
throw
this squad
stones
is
in there.
still a really
So
decent squad.
yeah, what I'm saying is your squad is also pretty decent, player wise. It's just that the manager right now is being exposed because for decades, bro, since 2008
Nah,
back up, he's
I
always had that
refuse.
team
I
in need.
refuse to think that Pep
No, no,
is
no, no.
getting
Let's be
exposed.
honest. Yo, let's be
These
honest.
same players that we're talking about today, they
Huh?
played the same football. Like Badio could not make a pass, bro. Like how do you blame your manager when a player that has been in this system for more than a year now,
Uh-huh.
you ask him to just make a pass from the back? Like you're not stupid. You're seeing that you're being pressed. If you
But
can't make a pass, maybe the
No. Do
ball
you know
to
why I
on the wing.
disagree? Here's the flip side of that argument, right? On top of those mistakes being made by the players, you guys have also had opportunities to capitalize on mistakes made by other teams, weak defenses by other teams, and across different leagues, different teams. For 10 games, you haven't done any of that anywhere. So at what
That's
point
all
do we
we're
stop
saying.
blaming the player mistakes and start blaming the manager setup? Because at this point, you're going to blame player mistakes until the end of the season.
Oh,
You're going to be like,
no,
in
no,
every
no.
single game,
Wait.
sure, Nunes sold this
Don't
one,
don't don't get me don't get
Fabio
me
sold
wrong.
that one.
I'm not
That's what
saying
it's
it's
sounding
I'm
like.
not saying I'm not saying the issue is unilateral. I'm not saying it's either manager or players. I'm trying to
You're
say
saying it's both at the
the
same time?
manager the manager definitely, I blame him for the squad building coming into this because Rodri being injured, there should have been a replacement for Rodri coming into the season. Walker should not have been our main right back coming into the season. KDB we should have had a contingency plan for KDB coming into the season. I think Savinho was kind of meant for that. Savinho to be on the wing and Foden more center. I think there were some plans. Hernan, there should have been another striker coming into the season, even though that is not as big of an issue right now. Yes, the manager should have done more of that coming into the season.
Mm-hmm.
Injuries happened. He couldn't do much. He could have done some changes. That's fine. All of that is already said. Those mistakes should not account for one win in 10 games, fam. What are we talking about here? Those mistakes that the
Uh-huh.
manager made should not account. They're not so bad that you only win once in 10 games.
Because
Maybe
No,
the
no.
pressure is getting.
where does the mentality problem come from, right? Low confidence,
Honestly,
where does it
I
come
don't
from? It
know.
comes from players losing games, man. Why are they
Mhm.
losing games, bro? You get what I'm saying?
Set
So
up, my
it's all
boy.
comes back
Set
to the
up.
same thing. It
That's
comes
set
back to
up.
the same thing. Manager needs to
Mhm,
recognize I don't have the quickest right back in the world anymore. I don't have the
mhm.
quickest midfield anymore. I don't have the strongest midfield anymore. So I cannot be playing a high line like in PlayStation. You put like 60 depth. I can't be doing that anymore, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to recognize the deficiencies in my team, help my
Mhm,
team, drop back a little bit, right? Keep things a little bit tight, and let us see what we can do from there.
I partially agree with you here, but
yeah.
I would say I don't blame a manager for saying that, hey guys, this is the standard of football that we're
Mhm,
gonna play at this
mhm.
club. And we're not gonna come here and sit back and act like we can't pass the ball. I don't blame a
That's
manager
fair.
for saying that you need
That's
to be
okay.
able to make a fucking pass. I don't blame a manager for saying that. I don't blame a
I
manager for
don't.
saying that if you lose the ball on the recovery, maybe don't swipe the guy in the penalty box. I don't blame a manager for saying that this is
Uh-huh.
my bar for football at this club, and
Yeah.
we're going to play at this bar.
If you take the United game out of isolation, right, you could make that argument and be like, okay, cool. We played iffy this game, but over the stretch of these other games, our type of football has won us games. Now we have 10 games as a sample set, 10 games in a row to see that your type of football despite what's happened in those 10 games, has been the consistent multiple, right? That type of football has to change. And that's why I think
No,
the other
I
issues
don't
stop.
think
And that's what I'm saying.
I don't
Because if
think
you guys
I
continue
don't
playing the
think
way
I'll
you're
go to
playing
Pep.
now,
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
it's calm. I don't care. Right?
I,
We'll see you guys in the bottom half of the table as
I
well.
will coach on that. When I don't think we're gonna see a big tactic shift. If you ask me, over 10 games, Pep has done a decent amount of rotation in tactics, I think. And what's most likely going to happen, in my opinion, is what always happens with City, around the crucial point of the season where the engine stops being rusty. It's like I think what's gonna happen is we're gonna see a tactic. He's gonna put a tactic in place that's gonna look very similar to one that he's already used over these past 10 games. There won't be any big signing. It'll be these same players. Maybe some players will come back from injury. And he's gonna use one of the tactics that we've seen him use over these past 10 games. But I think what's mostly gonna be the big difference, it's not gonna be a tactic shift, it's gonna be the players just getting back in the mindset of learning how to play football. I think they're just gonna get back in that
Okay.
mindset. If that doesn't happen, to
Okay.
me,
I
you
think
could change all the tactics, but there are no tactics that will be viable as long as Nunes decides that if he's faced by any opposition, he will pass the ball back to the striker and then swipe him in the penalty
okay.
box. There are no
I think we
tactics
should
that will
just
save you. No
I
tactics will
think we should
save you
just
from
we should just
so we stay-
end it there, Johan.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
guys,
I'm
it's
telling
been
you,
good.
look, there are no
Johan
tactics that
has
can
poured
save you
out
from
his
what Nunes has done in this game. No tactics will save you, fam.
Johan has
No
poured
tactics.
out his heart. Oh man,
Hey,
I'm
yo.
and
telling
it's
you, bro.
fine, guys. So we'll see you in the next episode. I mean, I just wanted to say though, like when we're saying change of tactics, I don't mean all of a sudden City is not going to be a possession based team. You know,
Yes.
even in a possession based team, there are certain adjustments that can be made within
Mhm.
there. Maybe go a little bit more direct. It doesn't always have to be 250 passes before the ball gets to Haaland. Haaland is a big, strong lad. Maybe start using him more. Kick the ball straight into
Talking
him.
about
Let
this
him
big
chest it
strong
down.
lad, bro.
Turn player.
We
You
talking
know what
about
I'm
this
saying?
big strong guy. Whenever the ball gets crossed to him, he never keeps it. Like this guy is big for nothing. He can't even be a target man sometimes. I have a
Okay,
problem
guys,
with
we need
Haaland.
to
He can't
go. We
even be
need
a
to
target
go.
I think we need to keep this under wraps because it's becoming too brutal. Johan, look, you know what, guys? If you guys want to
Guys,
part two of
we'll
this
see you guys on
conversation,
the next episode.
we can
It's
jump
okay.
in.
No, we can run this after they start making their comeback this weekend. No problem.
Oh yeah,
No problem.
you heard it here first.
After they come back this weekend, we'll talk. But
City
even
season
talking
starts this
about
weekend.
Haaland,
Yeah,
hmm?
no worries. So Johan, we
Who are
appreciate
they
you
playing
coming
this
back
weekend?
to be the sacrificial limb.
Who are they playing this weekend?
Let me see. I have no
Villa,
idea. Oh, you guys,
Aston Villa, bro.
John Duran, bro. John
Okay,
Duran. John
they are
Duran
the
will.
weekend after. The weekend after. The weekend after. The comeback starts the weekend after.